I have an octopus and sunflowers today, which normally I wouldn't pair together, but I love them both so much, and I'm just quirky, so this is where we're going. Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper, or welcome if this is your first time, and welcome to my May 2026 pile of possibilities. Is anyone else feeling like this month has gone really fast and we're not quite ready for May? And I definitely am. And maybe that's because we have some things happening in the next couple of months, birthday parties for grandkids, birth in June, I'm assuming in June, and maybe July. Yeah, a lot of things that are wrapping up for kids who are finishing school and having different events to share with us what they learned, and have little, usually we have little stage things that they do, and they sing and dance and all the things. I just love it, and I'm happy that it is this time, but I also feel like time is a thief again and again and again. I need to stop saying it, right? I have a couple of books that I have said I was going to read in the month of April that is likely not going to complete, but I'm going to add them to May. I have a few that I need and want to read in May, and then I have a few that are just throw-ins in the event that I get like tons of stuff read and then I have nothing else to read. Right, that happens all the time. So let's get started on what my plans are. The first one, two that I'm going to share are books that I have committed to in one way or another. And the first one is The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson. My friend Pam, who's one of my book club members, we had this pick a book for someone, and it was my month and her month to pick books for each other, and she chose this one for me, and I'm really excited about getting to it. I just actually heard something else about this book the other day that I hadn't heard for a while. I've heard lovely things about it, which is why I got it, and I need to get to it, but it's been like I just had some others that I could not. It was a slow reading month for me, let's just say that. So the folks of Troublesome Creek have to scrap for everything. And this is, I think, historical fiction. I think it's set way back in the day. Let me see for sure. Yeah, 1936. So a great time frame for me. Roosevelt, Kentucky's Pack Horse Library Project has now arrived in Troublesome Creek, and it has its very own library leader or librarian whose name is Cussie Mary Carter. She is also a person who has blue skin, which is a trait of people who were born in Appalachia and raised in Appalachia in that time. So I think it's Appalachia. So it's about the true blue-skinned people of Kentucky and the dedicated Kentucky Pack Horse Library service of the 1930s. And it says it's a novel of raw courage, fierce strength, and one woman's belief that books can carry us anywhere, even back home. Yes, I have been wanting to read this for a while. I've had it for a while. It might be on my self-destruct list this year. I think it is. And because I want to get to it. Sarah Gruen says it's unputdownable. Cultural significance. Yes, I love books like that. So let's get on it. I may see if I can find it on audio or ebook, because sometimes I can make that work easier and more quickly. But this month I could not track with audio very well. I just have to say it was hard. I ended up spinning the wheel to get this one, and I haven't gotten to it yet either, The Man Who Died Twice. I didn't have a particular deadline on this, so I don't feel bad about it, but I do want to bring it forward again, both to share with you and for me to be accountable, because this is a book that I would like to read fairly soon and then get to some of the others this year, hopefully. So this is book 2 in this Thursday Murder Club series. I'm not going to say a whole lot about this except to say that I love this series. I love these characters, Elizabeth, Joyce, Ron, and Ibrahim. And they are riding off the high of the recent murder that they solved, right, in book 1, which of course was so much fun. And then an unexpected visitor who's an old friend of Elizabeth's arrives desperate for her help, and he's been accused of stealing diamonds worth of millions from the wrong men, and he's on the lam. I've always loved that phrase, on the lam. But obviously, perhaps he fakes his death to be safe. I'm not not sure, but I would love to get to this as well. And I guess if he fakes his death, then, he's going to be killed as well. So that's maybe why it's the man who died twice, but I don't know. But if I'm right, I should get 10 points or something, right? The next one is for my book club that we begin reading in May, but we don't talk about till June. So I always have to think ahead. So this is The List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. I've had this for a bit. I think I recommended it to book club at one point, but then also somebody at our retreat that we do with the book club two besties also recommended it. So it got on our list for 2026. And I thought, oh, this is good. I'm going to read it either way. And then we added it back to the list of books for us to read in book club. I love this cover. This is a UK cover, I'm pretty sure, that I got because I liked it better. This is blurbed by a number of incredible authors. And this is a book that I really love. This is about two young kids, Miv and Sharon, and their families to some degree, possibly Miv's more than Sharon's. They live in Yorkshire, England. It's 1979, so historical fiction. And this one is intriguing to me because these two girls, and not in a Nancy Drew written kind of way, these two girls are really upset because they think Miv thinks her father's going to move them down into a different place in South England. But then Miv and Sharon both discover that two women were disappeared. Some way, somehow, they were taken or something they think terrible has happened to them. And so Miv and Sharon decide that they're going to seek clues, suspicious things, and make a list of them to see if they can find out what happened to these women. I just think this is so cute, but also I think it's probably seriously written because I've not seen anybody say, oh, it's, campy and stupid. It's not young adult. It's definitely an adult novel, but I've wanted to get to it for a while. I am happy that we're reading it for book club. And this one shouldn't take me long because it's pretty large print. Elizabeth Day, Marian Keyes, everybody loves it. Everybody I've talked to or seen as, other authors that have blurbed it have really enjoyed it. And look at these end papers, which is one of the reasons probably why I wanted this. There is nothing finer than a book that is written about crows. I'm just going to say it. So there you go. We'll see what purpose the crows play in this. A buddy read in May. Hopefully, if I can make sure that everything else gets read that has to be read, is a sequel to a book I buddy read with my friend Andy, also from my book club. You can see we're pretty tight. We do a lot of things together. This is book 2 in the Robert Jackson Bennett series. This is A Drop of Corruption, which is an Anna and Din mystery. I really loved book 1. I was so surprised at how much I loved it. And this one's a little bit bigger even, but I cannot wait to get to this. This one is back in Yarrowdale at the edge of the Empire's Reach, and a treasury officer has disappeared into thin air inside of a room that was heavily guarded. So they're not at all sure how this could happen, except that it was probably some corrupt person who let this person out. And so they send this case to Anna Delabra, of course, and then Din Cole also comes in to try to help her. Anna is a very unique character, as is Din, but she is just quite quirky, and I really love that about her. And I thought when I was reading the first book, before I read it, I thought Din was a robot, but I don't think he is. I think he's an actual physical guy. But I can't wait. Look, you can hear it crackling. I love a crackle, but I love these covers. I love these books. I can't wait to get to this one. And then there's another one coming out soon as well. So let's do that, hopefully. Zombie-thon is hosted this next month, or co-hosted by my friend Kat at Kat's Novel Adventures. I'm not sure the origins of Zombie-thon. I think is more than one person, but I will link that channel to you, and she has videos about what to possibly read and all the zombie things you need to know. I'm sure there will be sprints and all kinds of fun things as well. So I picked one book to read for Zombie-thon. It was hard for me to find a book that I could really settle on. And I happened to mention this to my partner one day, and she said, "Oh, I have just the book for you." So I'm going to read The Littlest Stupidest Angel by Christopher Moore. She loves Christopher Moore. I have only read one novel by this author, and it was fun, funky and fun, but she says this one is about zombies, and so, or a zombie, I don't know. I would never have thought. Also, this is a heartwarming tale of Christmas terror, so I will be reading a Christmas related book in May, perhaps June, but I doubt it. But he is such a weird writer, Christopher Moore. It's just so strange. I'm going to read you the synopsis because I think it's hilariously funny. "'Twas the night, okay, more like the week before Christmas, and all through the tiny community of Pine Cove, California, people are busy buying, wrapping, packing, and generally getting into the holiday spirit. It is the happiest time of the year after all, but not everybody is feeling the joy. Little Joshua Barker is in desperate need of a holiday miracle. No, he's not on his deathbed. No, his dog hasn't run away from home, but Josh is sure that he saw Santa take a shovel to the head, and now the 7-year-old has only one prayer. Please, Santa, come back from the dead." I mean, they had me at that paragraph. But hold on. "There's an angel waiting in the wings. Wings, get it? It's none other than the archangel Raziel, come to earth seeking a small child with a wish that needs granting. Unfortunately, our angel's not sporting the brightest halo in the bunch, and before you can say Kris Kringle, he's botched his sacred mission and sent the residents of Pine Cove headlong into Christmas chaos, culminating in the most hilarious and horrifying holiday party the town has ever seen. Only Christopher Moore, the man who brought you the outrageous Lost Gospel Lamb and the hysterical fish tail Fluke, which is the one I think I read, could have devised a new holiday classic that tugs at the heartstrings and serves up a healthy slice of fruitcake to boot. Move over, Charles Dickens. It's Christopher Moore time." Okay, right? Yes, please. I never even thought that one of his books would be about zombies. And I don't know why, because to be honest, this guy writes some really weird stuff. I can't wait. I can't wait. Peter Beagle says he's the Lord of the Weirdos. Yeah, I would say that's probably true. Carl Hyacin says Christopher Moore is a very sick man in the very best sense of that word. If this works, I need to get to Lamb because she's been wanting me to read that for years. And I just think if this works, then I'll probably dive into some more of his. We have, I think, everything he's ever written because my partner just loves him. And one of our surrogate mother, if you will, over here, whom we love and we've known for years, she has started to read them too. She's really enjoying them. All right, so if I get all these read and I end up with all this time, because I will, these are the next possibilities for me. Another self-destruct book, Then and Always by Danny Atkins. Now, some of these I could perhaps listen to as well, but I would like to get to this one because it does intrigue me and it's off of the same genres that we've been talking about. Rachel Wiltshire has friends, a boyfriend, and acceptance into a journalism program at the top college, and then something happens to her when she comes back to her best friend's wedding, and she's thinking about all the things that have happened to her in her life and what didn't happen to her in her life, and having some real like internal reflections that aren't particularly happy. And she falls, stumbles, lands her in the hospital, and when she wakes up, her whole life has changed. And I've always loved this premise, and I've never read it. And I think it is time. And look at this cover. I've said this before. You know I have. You've seen it if you're one of my subscribers and frequent watchers. But Danny Atkins is an author I have never read. But yes, it is time to get to Rachel and to find out what happens to her. This year is the year to do this or not do it, right? To read it or try a chapter at least, and then maybe it does self-destruct, maybe it doesn't. Another sort of departure from some of these other genres is another romance. This is Sarah Adams' Practice Makes Perfect. I read book 1. I really enjoyed it. And then my friend in our Christmas swap from the Book to Besties Retreat book club gave me this one and the next one in this series. And I think that one is called In Your Dreams, maybe? No, maybe that's the newest one. Anyway, this is book 2, and I would like to get to this too. So Annie is the featured character in this. So this is much like the ones that Laurie Gilmore wrote or a number of other romance writers. They do this, they have different characters in it, and then each book is a sequel to this series, but also it has people in it that you've already met. And so I like that. It works really well for me. So Annie Walker is looking for her perfect match, and she's struggling because when she lives in this small town, there aren't a lot of new people that pop up that she wants to date or be in a relationship with or perhaps marry. So Will is a sexy, tattooed, and gorgeous bodyguard who's temporarily back in Rome, providing security for someone that we meet in book 1. And so this one is going to kind of stay with the characters from book 1 and what's happening next for them, and then also opening up Annie's relationship to this particular guy, and steamy practice dates and strictly educational tutoring lessons will help Annie to discover that Will is more than she thought he was. So yes, that would be great. And then I've been wanting to finish this guy to zero, and this one just stares at me all the time. Middle of the Night, Riley Sager. It's a little horror-y, but it is not zombies and it is not macabre, I don't think. It's just kind of a horror mystery. This one, I think as he was getting to this one and the one that he just did, he's kind of moving a little bit out of the really darker horror-y space and into something a little bit different. But this one was published in, let me tell you, because I've had it for a bit and I haven't gotten to it, 2024. And I think this will be great. So this is about 2 boys who go on a sort of sleepover in a tent, and it's Ethan Marsh's backyard, actually. So this is about 2 boys, one named Ethan and the other one's name is Billy, and Billy is his neighbor. And Ethan has a backyard, and they set up a tent in the backyard, and they are going to spend a night in the tent. You know, you probably did this. I did this. It's not uncommon for young kids. But when Ethan wakes up, Billy is gone. He has no idea where he went, and someone sliced the tent open with a knife and took Billy away from the tent. And 30 years later, something resurfaces to bring him back to that space. And I'm certain that something will happen that will help them discover what happened to Billy. I don't know what it is. I haven't asked anyone anything about this, and I try not to read anything about these, but I think it's going to be great. I love a cover with a house on it, especially a house where somebody has disappeared from. And it would be another book of the month finishing for me. But also, I love Riley Sager. I mean, I don't give him 5 stars every time, but I really love to read Riley Sager. He compels me to finish quickly. He writes very, very well, and he develops characters deeply. I recommend him to almost anyone. So if you like this kind of book and any of these kinds of books, I would invite you and encourage you to give them a shot. Let me see if I can get these all stacked up in a nice, pretty way and hold these up for you. I'm editing this and I'm realizing I don't think I ever said anything about Macabre May. So the May category for my, if you want to read a book with me that is similar, but not necessarily the same book, the category for May is Macabre May. So a number of these fit for that prompt. And I don't know why, but in the moment, all I could think of was buddy reading, book club reading, and Zombie-thon. And I don't think I mentioned Macabre May. So if this is true, when you get there, remember that several of these can focus on that, as well as some others that I might throw in because I love the macabre. I think this is going to be a great reading month. And of course, I always reserve the right to completely change my mind, but I doubt that I will, because these are really books that I have been wanting to read for a while. And I've committed to for a number of reasons, with a number of people that I really care about. So excuse this curl today too. I did not hot iron my hair. I just didn't feel like it. And so now I'm getting ready to go into a client session with crazy hair, but I just don't care, right? That's what my motto is today. So again, thanks for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these, if any of these authors are your favorites, which ones of these did you like or maybe dislike. Which do you want to read? You know the drill. I say this all the time, but if you're new, you haven't heard me say it before. If you are new, I'd love it if you would hit the like button, subscribe if you'd like to. Anyone who wants to leave a comment just makes my day. And when you do, I just smile, and I love to, read what you're saying and to get to know your reading tastes. And of course, to understand if you liked the same books or no. And so if you'd like to leave a comment, I would love for you to do that. And if you don't, you could leave an emoji that is a zombie, which I'm sure there is one of those, or a bit of a witch, or a child, or a camping tent, or let's see, I don't know what that one would be. Whatever you'd like. Oh, the angel. You could leave an angel. I know there's an angel emoji because I get it from one of my granddaughters all the time. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate you very, very much. Hoping to get back in the groove of making some content ahead, and I will be back as soon as possible. As always, happy reading. Bye.